Today I got another tip for you, and that is make your homework smart. Now, I don't give homework assignments to every client. I only give homework when the client is willing to do it. But when they are, when the client's willing to do homework between sessions, that helps to keep them participating in their own healing process, and that's really going to help them to get better results from the overall healing process that we're doing together. What I find is that one of the most effective uses of homework is to use it as a way to test the results between sessions. For example, during a session, the client might have an insight and that helps them to decide to do something differently in their life. When that happens, I want to come up with a SMART goal that the client's going to agree to do, and then get a commitment from the client to do exactly that. And that gives me a way to actually test the results of the session. But it needs to be SMART. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, responsible, and it needs to have a specific time frame. So it needs to be specific. Generalities, tend to fall by the wayside, so we need to be very specific. Sometimes you got to reduce it to the ridiculous, but make it specific. It doesn't have to be anything major. In fact, small changes have a better chance of success than wide sweeping alterations in a person's life. Those sweeping changes can generate unconscious resistance. Think about it. Rome wasn't built in a day, neither was the problem. All that's needed is just one small step in the right direction, and then another small step, and then another. And you can literally change a person's overall trajectory in their life, and that can have sweeping changes. Now, it might be something very simple like just putting the fork down between bites. Or it might be something like going outside for 10 minutes to have a short walk, maybe going out for 10 minutes during the lunch hour. Or it might be doing 5 minutes of tapping or 5 minutes of self-hypnosis twice a day. Now, like I said, really reduce it down to something small. 5 minutes may not seem like a lot, but doing it consistently, you get the accumulative effect of that. So small changes are much more acceptable to the subconscious mind than those grand sweeping overall changes. That can trigger unconscious fear. So as I say, if necessary, reduce it to the ridiculous, but make sure that it's a specific action so that you've got a way to check. Also, you want it to be measurable so that the client knows and you know when they've successfully completed their assignment. They need to have a way of measuring that. So come up with a measurement. It also needs to be achievable. So can they do it? Is it something that's possible for them to do? So I ask the client, so list all the reasons why you can do that now. What makes it possible for them to do it now? Now, if they have to go out and buy a home gym to be successful, then, it's not really achievable. Not yet. I mean, if they have a gym at home and it's sitting in the garage and it's all set up and ready to go, then it's definitely achievable. So achievable simply means that it's independent of anyone or anything except that the client act on that decision. It also needs to be responsible to be a SMART goal. So responsible just means, is it the right thing to do? If you've been sitting on the couch for the last 15 years, it isn't responsible to get up and go out and run a marathon this weekend. Getting off the couch is probably enough. Getting off the couch and going outside every day, that's a responsible goal to be setting up as part of your SMART goal. It also needs to be time-based, so it might be something that the client is going to do every day, or it might just be a one-time activity that needs to be accomplished before the next session, so that you have a way to check in and know when that's going to be completed. So let me just give you an example. I had a client who during a session came to the realization that she had actually been shutting her husband out, that she hadn't been allowing communication. And she recognized that this was actually contributing to the problem, which was a trust issue. And so she wasn't communicating with her husband because she didn't trust him, but she didn't trust him because there wasn't enough communication going on. And she kind of had one of those V8 moments where she realized, oh, I've been contributing to the problem. So she came to the realization that she needed to open up more, and she needed to practice trusting by sharing her feelings with him so that she could enjoy more intimacy in the relationship and experience those feelings of trust. So we worked together to create a SMART homework assignment for her. First of all, S stands for specific. So the specific goal for this client was that she was going to talk about her feelings with her husband because she hadn't felt safe in doing this before. And so this was coming out of the therapy, realizing, oh, I haven't felt safe and I need to prove to myself that it is safe. Now, we also needed to make it measurable. You know, as Yoda says, there is no try, there is only do or not do. So this was a measurable accomplishment. She would know if she talked to him, she'd accomplished it. That was pretty easy to measure. Was it achievable? Well, yes, it was something she was able to do. She was able to talk. Her husband was available, and she concluded that he would be willing to sit down and have a conversation with her as well, because you know it takes two. So as far as the client was concerned, this was completely doable. What about responsible? Was it the right thing to do? Was it safe for her to do? Well, yeah, you know, we assessed the situation, and she said absolutely, it was completely responsible. Plus, it was what was lacking in her relationship. This was really the perfect test for her. What she needed was more open and honest and heart-centered communication in her relationship so that she could feel safe enough to trust. As for the time-based element, well, she had a week between sessions to find the right time for her to, you know, make a date with her hubby and have a conversation about how she was feeling. But she was so enthusiastic, she just wanted to do it right away. So, you know, when she showed up for her next session, she says, oh, I just went right out of the session. I called him from the car. She hadn't even left my driveway, and she was on her cell phone saying, let's go out for dinner tonight. I want to talk. And he said, great, yeah, he agreed. And so she had that conversation that same evening. The insight was there, the motivation was there, and you know, it was providing good reason for her. And that motivation to improve her relationship and consciously create the opportunity to experience more trust within herself provided the willingness that was necessary for her to take action right away. And she did. So that next session she came in and she said that she is actually specifically she shared what she had been experiencing in her hypnosis sessions and the feelings that she had been dealing with that had been coming up and the insights that she had been having. And she let herself be emotionally vulnerable with her husband in a way that she had never allowed herself to be in the past. And she was surprised and delighted to find that her husband was very receptive, and this provided the proof she needed that it was safe to trust. Having a SMART goal as a homework assignment gave this client an action to commit to, and it gave me a way to measure her progress in the therapy, a way to gauge where she was at, how well she was doing, and how to proceed. So it gave me an idea of what the next step in her program needed to be. And it can help you with your clients too. So when you assign a homework assignment to your clients, make sure that it's SMART so that you get the most mileage out of that homework. So here's your assignment. Leave your comments on the forum. Tell me how you're going to use this particular approach to testing your results and giving your clients more autonomy in their own healing process between sessions. So leave your comments in the forum. I want to hear from you, and tell me how things are going with you as well in your sessions. If you've got any questions, I'm here to help. Okay, until next time, this is Wendie signing off, and I'll see you again real soon.